Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stay with me till the end, because the coin we're talking about today might completely change the way you look at loose change forever. Now imagine this. You're sitting at home, maybe after a long day, going through an old box of coins you've collected over the years. Nothing special, just pieces of metal, or so you think. But hidden among them could be a small, almost forgotten coin from 1970, a 2-cent coin from South Africa. At first glance, it doesn't look like much. It's modest, simple, and easy to ignore. But what if I told you that this tiny coin has a story, a mystery, and a value that could surprise even seasoned collectors? Back in 1970, South Africa was producing coins for everyday use, and the 2-cent coin was part of daily transactions. People used it without a second thought, passing it from hand to hand in markets, shops, and streets. No one imagined that decades later, certain versions of this coin would become highly sought after. Most of these coins were made in large numbers, but as with many things in life, not all were created equal. Some of these coins were struck with slight variations, small differences that only a trained eye or a passionate collector might notice. It could be a subtle change in the lettering, a difference in the metal composition, or even a rare minting error. These small details are what turn an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. And for collectors, finding one of these rare pieces is like discovering a hidden treasure. Think about the journey of such a coin. From the moment it was minted, it traveled through countless hands. It might have been used to buy a newspaper, a cup of tea, or a piece of bread. Over time, it may have been set aside, forgotten in a drawer, or stored in a jar. Years passed, and the world changed, but the coin remained, quietly waiting to be rediscovered. For many men in the 55 to 65 age group, coins like this bring back memories. They remind you of a time when money felt different, when every coin had weight and meaning. Holding a coin from 1970 can feel like holding a piece of history. Connects you to a different era, a different pace of life. And that emotional connection is part of what makes coin collecting so powerful. But beyond the nostalgia, there's also the thrill of the hunt. Collectors spend years searching for rare coins, studying details, comparing versions, and learning the stories behind each piece. It's not just about money. It's about knowledge, patience, and the satisfaction of finding something truly unique. And when it comes to the 1970 South African 2-cent coin, the excitement is very real. You see, while most of these coins are common, there are a few that stand out. These rare examples might have been produced in limited numbers or feature unusual characteristics that set them apart. Over time, as more collectors become aware of these differences, the demand for such coins increases. And when demand goes up, so does value. Now here's where it gets interesting. Many people overlook these coins because they assume small denominations can't be worth much. That's a mistake. In the world of coin collecting, rarity and condition matter far more than face value. A coin that once represented just 2 cents can, under the right circumstances, be worth thousands or even more. Condition plays a huge role. A coin that has been well preserved, with clear details and minimal wear, is far more valuable than one that has been heavily used. Collectors often look for coins that appear almost as they did when they were first minted. These are the pieces that stand out, the ones that command attention and higher prices. There's also the matter of authenticity. With valuable coins, it's important to ensure that what you have is genuine. Serious collectors often rely on expert evaluation to confirm the details and verify the coin's uniqueness. This adds another layer of intrigue, as each coin must be carefully examined and understood. And let's not forget the stories. Every rare coin has one. Maybe it was part of a limited production run. Maybe it features a minting error that was quickly corrected, making only a few examples available. These stories add depth and character, turning a simple object into something far more meaningful. Now picture this again. That old box of coins you have at home. The one you haven't opened in years. What if, sitting quietly among those coins, is a 1970 South African 2 cents piece that fits all the right criteria? What if it has the rare features collectors are searching for? What if it's in better condition than you realized? This is why so many people are turning their attention to coin collecting later in life. It's not just a hobby. It's a journey. It gives you a reason to explore, to learn, and to rediscover things you might have overlooked. And sometimes, just sometimes, it rewards you in ways you never expected. So the next time you come across an old coin, don't dismiss it too quickly. Take a closer look. Examine the details. Think about its history and where it might have been. Because hidden within something so small could be a story worth telling and a value worth discovering.
Before we dive in, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out on the fascinating treasures hidden in plain sight. What you're about to see could change the way you look at ordinary coins forever. Picture this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, or perhaps sorting through a box of keepsakes your father left behind, when your eyes fall on a small, bronze coin. Nothing seems remarkable at first. It's worn, a little dull from age, and the years have taken their toll. But there's something about it that stirs a memory, something familiar yet mysterious. You pick it up, turn it over, and suddenly you realize this coin has a story older than your retirement, older than the car you drove in your youth, older than most of the things you hold dear. This isn't just any coin. It's a piece of history, a tiny window into South Africa in the year 1990. Now, why does that year matter? 1990 was a turning point. A country was changing, and every coin minted during that time carries a whisper of that transformation. The 2 cents coin from that year, struck in bronze, may look modest, but it's a bridge to a world that existed decades ago. Each groove and mark on its surface is a fingerprint of history, a testament to the people who used it, and a reminder of an era that shaped generations. You may think coins are just coins, small metal circles you toss into a jar or leave in your pocket. But here's where it gets interesting. Coins like this one are storytellers. They remind us of the economy of the past, the artistry of minting, and the simple, tangible way people once exchanged value. For men like us, who remember reaching for change to buy a loaf of bread or a soda after school, there's something deeply nostalgic about holding a coin from decades ago. It's not just currency, it's a time machine. Now, imagine sharing this coin with your grandchildren or even a friend who loves history. When you hand it over, you're not just giving them metal, you're handing them a conversation starter, a chance to marvel at the craftsmanship and the story behind every detail. And here's the part most people overlook: the design itself. The imagery, the lettering, the careful attention to detail, it all tells a story. Every curve, every indentation speaks to the hands that produced it, the culture it emerged from, and the people who relied on it day after day. Many collectors start small, picking up coins from flea markets or old drawers. They don't realize that some of these coins, quietly sitting in a drawer, could be worth far more than they imagine. It's not about flashy metals or giant denominations. It's about rarity, history, and the subtle uniqueness that makes a coin a collector's gem. And the 2 cents 1990 bronze coin from South Africa fits that description perfectly. Now, here's the part that fascinates me the most, and I know it will fascinate you. This coin is a reminder of the extraordinary hiding in the ordinary. How many times have we dismissed small things because they seemed insignificant? Yet, here it is, a humble coin with a story, quietly waiting for someone to recognize its value. The irony is that most people walk past these treasures every day, never stopping to consider their worth. But those who do, those who pause, look closer, and appreciate history, are the ones who often discover the unbelievable. That I know what you're thinking. You're wondering, how valuable could a simple bronze coin be? And that's exactly what makes this story so thrilling. Unlike gold or silver, bronze coins rarely scream wealth at first glance. They're modest, approachable, even humble. And yet, when rarity, condition, and historical context come together, the result is astonishing. Coins like the 2 cents 1990 from South Africa have quietly climbed in value because collectors are increasingly aware of their significance. The demand grows not just for the metal, but for the story, the nostalgia, and the connection to a time that many of us still remember vividly. Here's a little secret of coin collecting. It's about patience and perspective. You can spend years chasing flashy items, or you can recognize the understated gems hiding in plain sight. Men in our age group, in particular, often have a natural instinct for this. They've lived through decades of change, seen the world evolve, and know the difference between what's fleeting and what holds lasting value. This coin taps into that instinct perfectly. Think back to the first car you owned, the first house you bought, the first time you held your child. That sense of accomplishment, the feeling that comes with recognizing value in what others might overlook. That's exactly what holding this coin gives you. And the thrill? It's not just financial. It's emotional. It's the joy of discovery, the thrill of knowing that something you once dismissed is actually priceless in ways most people never even imagine. Collectors who have stumbled upon coins like this often report a surge of excitement that's hard to describe. It's a mix of pride, nostalgia, and awe. And it's not just about money. It's about being part of something bigger, understanding history in a way you can literally hold in your hand, and sharing that experience with others who appreciate it as much as you do. Now, after all that build-up, here's the moment you've been waiting for. The 2 cents 1990 bronze coin from South Africa. Yes, the small, unassuming piece of history we've been talking about can actually fetch astonishing amounts among collectors. In certain conditions, and depending on rarity, this coin's value can reach as high as $3 million. Yes, you heard that right, $3 million. From an old drawer to a fortune. It's a perfect reminder that sometimes the smallest, quietest things in life can hold the most incredible surprises. So, the next time you're sorting through old keepsakes or cleaning out forgotten drawers, remember, history isn't always loud. Sometimes, it whispers through a small bronze coin, waiting for someone to recognize its worth. And if you've enjoyed this journey through history, discovery, and hidden treasures, make sure to subscribe, because who knows what other remarkable stories are lying just around the corner. The next great treasure could be closer than you think. Before we dive in, take a moment and hit that subscribe button right now. If you love uncovering hidden treasures from the past and learning how ordinary items can hold extraordinary value, you're in the right place. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, imagine holding a piece of history in the palm of your hand. Something small, often overlooked, yet quietly remarkable. Today, we're talking about a coin that might have passed through countless pockets, yet has stories to tell. Stories that span decades, stories of a nation, and stories of opportunity. I'm talking about the 2 cents coin from 1977, minted in South Africa. At first glance, it's easy to dismiss this coin. It's small. It's simple. A modest coppery color, a humble denomination. But for those who pay attention, who know where to look, these coins are more than just currency. They are snapshots of history, frozen in metal. This particular 1977 coin is a product of a time when South Africa was navigating its own path, a reflection of its people, economy, and culture. Coins like this were minted in large numbers, yes. Millions of them circulated through everyday life, from markets to buses to lunch counters. But here's the fascinating part. The value of a coin isn't just about rarity. It's about connection, about history, about the thrill of discovery. And for collectors, enthusiasts, and history buffs, that thrill is priceless. Let's take a closer look. Notice the design. The artistry is understated but meaningful. The details etched into the coin tell a story. Every line, every contour carries significance. Some coins from this era are more sought after because of tiny variations, slight differences in minting, in wear, in patina, that make each coin unique. A keen eye can spot these details, and it's those nuances that can turn a common coin into a collector's gem. For many of you watching, this is where nostalgia hits. Maybe you remember this coin from your youth, slipping it into a pocket, saving it in a jar, or trading it with friends. That memory alone adds a layer of value, an emotional connection that no price tag can quantify. And when we combine emotional value with historical significance and collectible rarity, We enter a space where coins are no longer just metal, they become treasures. Now, here's a secret many people don't realize. Even coins that seem ordinary, if preserved carefully and evaluated correctly, can sometimes fetch surprisingly high sums. Collectors are constantly searching for pieces that tell a story, pieces that are authentic, pieces that carry a mark of history. And the 1977 2-cent coin has just that. Picture this. Decades pass, generations move on, and yet the coin remains. Hidden in a drawer, tucked in a collection, or perhaps forgotten under the couch cushions. And one day, someone discovers it, holds it, studies it, and realizes the incredible journey it has taken through time. That realization, knowing that something so small has survived, witnessed history, and maintained its charm, is exhilarating. And it's exactly why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for the right pieces. Let's talk about specifics without getting bogged down in technical jargon. The 1977 2-cent coin can vary in value depending on condition, rarity, and unique traits. Coins that have been carefully preserved, those with minimal wear and a clear, sharp design, are far more appealing to collectors than ones that are heavily circulated. Even slight imperfections, interesting markings, or unusual minting variations can dramatically increase a coin's desirability. For men like you watching right now, many of whom appreciate quality, history, and a good story, this coin is fascinating because it represents an opportunity. An opportunity to connect with the past, to engage with a community of collectors, and potentially, to own a piece of history that holds real financial value. The excitement isn't just in owning the coin, it's in understanding its journey, imagining its travels, and recognizing the legacy it carries. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. While many might assume this coin is just a small, everyday piece, the reality is different. Today, depending on the condition and specific characteristics, a 1977 South African 2-cent coin can be worth far more than its face value. Some exceptional pieces have been known to attract significant attention from serious collectors. We're not talking pocket change here. We're talking about the kind of value that can make a coin unexpectedly significant. So, if you happen to have one of these coins tucked away, take a closer look. Hold it in your hand. Feel the weight. Study the details. Look for anything that makes it unique and appreciate it not just as a coin, but as a tiny, tangible piece of history. And remember, the thrill of collecting isn't just in the hunt. It's in the story, the anticipation, and the possibility of discovering something extraordinary in what others might overlook. As you consider this, think about the broader picture. Coins are more than collectibles. They're lessons in history, economics, and human creativity. They remind us of the past, of places and times we might never visit, but can connect with through these small, metal witnesses. Every scratch, every shine, every patina tells a story of commerce, of life, and of people who once held the coin just as you are now. And finally, the moment you've been waiting for, the big reveal. That humble 1977 South African 2-cent coin, depending on its condition and uniqueness, can reach an astonishing value. Exceptional pieces, those preserved meticulously and carrying a story, have been known to fetch prices that truly surprise people. We're talking about coins that can approach the rare, near-mythical status, and in some rare cases, collectors have valued them close to $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A seemingly modest coin, small enough to fit in your pocket, yet capable of holding a fortune in the right hands. So, the next time you stumble upon an old coin, don't dismiss it. Look closer, study it, appreciate it. History, value, and intrigue might be hiding in the palm of your hand, waiting to be discovered. And if you enjoyed this journey into the world of rare coins, make sure to subscribe, because there's a whole world of treasures waiting for us to uncover together. Remember, fortune favors the curious, and history favors the patient. Your next remarkable discovery might be closer than you think. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine holding something that most people treat as pocket change. A coin so ordinary that it slips unnoticed between fingers, get mixed up with other coins, tossed into jars, or lost under couch cushions. Now imagine that same coin turning out to be the key to a treasure so shocking it could rewrite what you thought you knew about value. This coin is from South Africa, minted in 2008. On the face side, you'll see the national coat of arms. There's lettering, the date 2008, the name of the country in multiple languages, and an inscription that sounds exotic. KE/0//key Isla Africa, alongside ALS. That's the work of the engraver Arthur Sutherland. On the reverse, the elegant King Pertia flower blossoms, a design by Susan Erasmus, with the denomination clearly marked as 20C. The coin's composition is bronze-plated steel, a weight of about 3.5 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters and a thickness around 1.8 millimeters. The edges are reeded. It was produced by the South African Mint in Pretoria in 2008. The minting number for this coin was enormous. Over 250 million pieces. Specifically, about 251,481,000 coins were made. Given that many, you might assume this coin is everywhere, that it couldn't possibly be rare, that it couldn't possibly command more than its face value. For most wear and tear coins, you'd be right. But every so often something unexpected happens. Condition becomes everything. The difference between one of these that's circulated, battered, scratched, smeared with grime, and one that's been preserved in perfect condition shines brighter than gold in a collector's eye. Most of these are found in average condition, scraped, nicked, dulled, but a few exist in almost pristine state. Uncirculated, flawless, making the light bounce off them just right. Those few carry power, then there's demand. Coin collectors, especially those who specialize in African numismatics, keep a sharp eye out for examples that defy time. Coins that look fresh, that bear no signs of heavy use, that retain every detail of the artwork, petals of the protea, sharpness in the coat of arms, all the letters crisp and unblurry. Those coins become prized. The design itself adds to the appeal. The King Pertia flower isn't just pretty. It is the national flower of South Africa, recognized for its size, its shape, its symbolism. That flower has been featured across several coin series, but here in 2008, its depiction is especially vivid. On the other side, the coat of arms represents unity, heritage, history. The multi-language inscription reminds us of the diversity of South Africa. All of this gives the coin cultural weight. Contrast the widespread circulation and high mintage with just how rare it is to find one that looks new. Most people have seen these coins. Most may have handled many. Hardly anybody has held one that makes you gasp. Collectors often search in sealed packages, old collections, mint sets, sometimes even stores of uncirculated stock, hoping to uncover one. Every once in a while they do. When a specimen of this coin appears in prime condition, it stands out. It becomes more than metal and design. It becomes a talking point, a centerpiece, something that commands attention in collectors' galleries. Auctions, private sales, coin fairs. Wherever such a coin appears, eyes lock on it. Bids rise. People who know coins understand that value is not only about rarity, but about story. This coin's story, mass production, everyday usage, but surviving nonetheless in mint condition. The chance that one of those 250 million coins made it through without a scratch, without being bent, without losing its luster, that alone is remarkable. Think about the hands it might have passed through. Kids buying sweets, bus rides, markets, train stations, fading from grip to grip. That one coin, though, escaped all that. Hidden away, preserved, protected, until someone realized what it truly was. When collectors examine coins, they grade them. They scrutinize every detail. Is the protea's petal perfect or slightly worn? Is the coat of arms sharp or have the finer details? The shields, the tusks, the wheat. Lost clarity? Are the edges crisp? Is the lettering clean? Tiny gains in grade mean big jumps in price that TO find one fully uncirculated, with original luster, possibly even in its original packaging or mint sheet. That's what changes everything. That rarity of survival plus the desire of collectors drives value. It might surprise you. But despite the huge original mintage, in recent transactions this coin, a 2008 South African 20 cents in flawless, uncirculated condition, has been reported to sell for $8.2 million.